Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
From Cafeteria Film Studios in Little Havana, Phresh presents Que Bola, where we talk to various movers and hustlers who are popping off and succeeding in the 305 and at the same time influencing the culture. I'm your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Ew. Yo, what's good, my people? I hope y'all doing good and everybody staying nice and safe and dry. I know it's been raining out here in this crazy ass weather city, bipolar city for the last couple of weeks. But we trying to stay on top of that. And we know we still living good in this tropical paradise we call home. In this week's episode, we sat down and spoke to dos tipos bien tropical, Mr. Pedro Bello and Harrison Fishman, repping Dade County, you know, the film scene out here. These two director, animators, artists, creatives sat down with us and explained and gave their experiences of going through the Borscht Fellowship. They're both working on their independent movies, and they just recently finished directing and animating Fat Nick's new music video, New Opps. Yeah, go check that out. It's pretty crazy. I like it. These two are definitely onto something. Shout out all the creators out there doing their thing, hustling, trying to get on, representing Dade County 305. You know what it is. Let's get into this one, all right? Listo. So, we're in another episode of Que Bola. We at the crib.
What's up?
What do they do with my people? How y'all doing, dog?
Good. We're doing well, yeah. Thanks for having us today.
In the studio, home studio today, we have Pedro and Harrison, fellow creators out of Miami-Dade County. They are representing right now Borscht, correct?
Borscht, yeah, we're Borscht kids.
Borscht kids right now in the house. You guys are doing a fellowship at Borscht, whatnot.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So the way I came across you, Pedro,
yeah, true.
was the first time was we were doing a movie thing, the Omniboat,
yeah,
the Omniboat, and I saw you like I was doing an extra. I was like playing extra, and they were moving us all over the place and whatnot.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, people who were extras that day.
Nah, it's all good.
Sunniest day in the world.
Yeah, man, it was pretty fucking bad. I ain't gonna front, dog. It was hot as fuck that day. But regardless, you guys were super awesome. I talked to you like while you were at the top in the building, and I was like, oh shit, we happen to know each other. Like we happen to know somebody in common, Giancarlo.
Yeah, good old Giancarlo.
Yeah. Shout out to Giancarlo.
Shout out Giancarlo, true.
He's
teacher. Giancarlo the teacher.
Giancarlo the teacher. He's been on the show. He's one of the fellow guests who's been on podcast. Yeah, he came on here, talked to us about his creative styles and whatnot. And yeah, and that's how like we met each other. And I was like, yo, you had told me that day, you were like, yo, tomorrow I'm shooting a Fat Nick video. This and that. Like legit, you were like, yo, tomorrow I'm shooting this Fat Nick video. And we gotta we could chop it up and this and that, da. And then one thing leads to another, and I see the Fat Nick video drop, and I'm like, oh shit, that's what's up, dog.
I did it.
I did it.
It definitely. Well, that's. I met Giancarlo. So Harrison is a fellow this year.
Okay,
I was a fellow last year.
Okay.
And I came to the fellowship, and they asked me what I wanted to do, and I said that I wanted to direct a Fat Nick music video.
Okay.
And everyone in the fellowship, everyone at Borscht was just sort of like, all right, dude. And then I met Julian.
Yeah.
Also shout out to Julian.
Shout out Julian.
Great.
He's also been on the podcast. Another
who's an
veteran.
amazing director. Yeah. And I met him and I started editing for Julian.
Okay.
As a favor.
All
because
right.
I like his videos a lot. So then I edited Swipe. And then that was not as a favor, I got paid. But because I was editing for Julian. So then I met Giancarlo, and then Giancarlo and I started editing and direct. Well, Giancarlo mostly directing and me mostly doing the editing.
Okay.
And then finally, Giancarlo one day was just like, hey, Fat Nick wants to make this music video. And I was just like, okay, who's going to direct it?
Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, you should direct it. And I was just like, yes, dude, fuck yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Making dreams come true.
Yeah,
A year later.
Year long. Good old Borscht. And I don't know, good old just talking to people and being like,
networking.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I said I wanted to do a Fat Nick video. It was just I really wanted to.
It was just a spur of the moment thing when you said it?
Well, I had just seen What the Fuck. Yeah. And I knew that Borscht knew Julian, whose movies I really liked, and I knew before. And he had just done this Fat Nick one. So I was just like, I want to make that. Because that was a local filmmaker that I liked. So I thought that.
Was it accessible?
Yeah, it's accessible. You want to follow we were talking about process. Like you want to
Yeah.
follow the people that you see that are around you that are like making the cool stuff and like try to learn from them and then try to do it and then
Yeah.
they'll be there with your back because you helped them before.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And you, Harrison, you're a fellow this year.
Yeah, so I'm a fellow.
Can you explain to me first of all what a fellow
What
is?
is that, right?
So fair.
I don't
You
think
guys
we
are just
know.
using like all this terminology.
So we are fellows.
We're fellows here, fellow
Little
man.
fellow, yeah. I'm your fellow man. So Borscht does, I think every summer they do sort of like an internship sort of thing. But instead of it being an internship, is more of like a residency or a fellowship. And like this summer, differently than I think past years, Dylan Redford, who's sort of like he sort of like heads the fellowship, sort of wanted to make it a sort of like a process-based residency where like every week we talk to a director through Skype, like,
All right.
and they give us a prompt and we basically make a video
All right.
based on that. And so every week we have to produce a video, and then at the end of the summer we're expected to sort of make a like a larger project.
Like a thesis project.
Exactly.
Okay. Independently or all together?
Independently. So everybody, I mean, you're allowed, like, there's no guidelines of who you can collaborate with and who you can't and anything like that. It's just like you have to make a video every week and you have to make a project at the end, and like however we want to do that, it's up to us.
So you have to make a video individually every week?
Yeah.
Or okay. So it's not like as a team you gotta make a video.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's like just recently I feel like people have been starting to like collaborate more within the group and stuff, but it's very self-driven. But the stuff that, you know, when people like in the group I think collaborate and come together, like, I don't know, like that stuff seems more fruitful at the end of the day sometimes, of just like, or just the spirit of it, you know?
Okay.
People reaching out to each other and being like, I want help, and you know.
So you guys help on each other's videos like that? Like somebody will do sound, another will do video, DP, another one like lighting?
Yeah, and like, I mean, the thing is that like, because we only have a week to make them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and because like, you know, not everybody, you know, we don't have a budget for these videos. They're usually made on like, you know, iPhones, GoPros, very
Shoestring budget type
exactly.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Which creates like a really cool. I mean, I just filmed a movie that I'm making right now called The Big Parade, and that's the first time that I've ever shot part of it or of anything on like a cinema camera.
Okay, like a real camera?
Yeah, like a real camera with a real DP, and same with Pedro's movie, which is a Power Ranger movie that he's making right now. Both of those sort of films were made mostly on these like sort of nicer cameras, but before that, like the cameras that we've used have been
Mobile cameras or whatever is at your disposal.
exactly.
And you went through this process as well?
No, last year it was sort of similar, but also we didn't have to make that many videos.
Okay. so this year's is harder.
This year's a little harder, yeah. But I don't know. I guess it's cool. It's cool that you asked automatically like, oh, like who's the DP and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think that Borscht just has this culture of, hey, like you have a good idea, you can make it right now with your phone, and it's really cool to see the combination of different ages of people just sort of making video and maybe not being like, oh, we have to write a script, and being like, because that already stops you, right? And like, if you don't have the giant amounts of time, like you'll never make a film because you didn't write the script. I feel like Borscht is really pushing, I think conceptually, kids to just be like, okay, like phone, you have your friends, film the moment, put that shit on your computer, cut it, and like that's a movie, and let's show it. And I feel like
So
that
like
type
getting
of-
dirty. Just get your hands in there and just
tell the story, yeah.
Just tell the story and be like, do they teach you certain things for creating like a certain process, or do you guys pick this up? How do you more or less? What's the process with that?
You gotta make a video each week, yo. You gotta
That's
figure
it.
it out. I feel like, I think it's like so smart. And you had someone else in your podcast I was going around, and
Yeah.
someone's just like, you want to go to film school? Like, don't go to film school.
Oh yeah,
Go to
Chris.
Borscht.
Yeah, shout out Chris.
Shout out Chris. I actually never met
Chris Lopez. Yeah.
Chris Lopez yet, but like, I don't know. I sort of believe that, yo. I really like Borscht as a place, and yeah.
It's cool because I think
I feel like I just became like a commercial. For
for Borscht.
It's like I like them, and yeah, fuck it.
No, but I think people like
Thumbs up.
Hey, go to Borscht. People romanticize like the process of making a movie, I think, a little too hard, and like, you know, at the end of the day, really the importance of anything is just like you should just finish.
Oh yeah.
If you make something, you just have to finish it. I think that's like the number one thing that I've learned and sort of like has really helped me in everything. It's just like at the end of the day, you just have to make the thing.
Did you guys go to film school prior to Borscht? Did you guys go to school, or is this just like straight out of high school or college?
No,
or
we're college kids.
Yeah, so
Okay.
We studied
but
we studied sculpture.
right.
Oh, so both of you guys study sculpture?
Yeah.
We
At
went
the
to
same
school
school?
together. We went
Yeah.
to school
Oh,
together,
okay.
yeah.
What school did you guys go to?
We're RISD kids.
What?
It's the Rhode Island School of Design.
Rhode Island
School of
Design. RISD.
Yep.
No, yeah,
RISD, yeah.
yes. yeah.
RISD.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we got a
Shout out RISD.
Well,
Well, not
I
really.
like it.
Let me get that shout out back. Get it back here.
I'm in my own terms with
With RISD?
with RISD, yeah.
Okay. So right now, fuck RISD, dog.
Yeah. Well, Harrison
I
likes it.
graduated,
Harrison
yeah.
graduated. He likes it. I don't like it.
We did sculpture, but I think the program, like, we were in like a fine arts sculpture program, and we
Yeah.
made videos, and like innately, we weren't making like videos for our gallery, so it was just sort of like we were just making things that I think weren't, it just wasn't the right environment, I think, for the things that we were making, maybe, and
Nah, but it was cool. Yeah,
It was
we
cool.
were very lucky. We went to school and then we studied sculpture. Like we could sort of just do whatever the fuck we wanted.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Which is like
discrediting
a crazy,
the
it's
program.
like a very bad education, but like it really helped us at least to just sort of be like, okay, like here's wood and like just video. Yeah, video is interesting because it's a material. So
Yeah.
like you can just do so much shit with it.
Did you guys
So cool.
apply
Video's so
stuff
fun.
from? Do you guys apply stuff from the sculpture teaching to your video creations?
Always.
Always, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that we think very sort of architecturally or like structurally about video, like cut to cut, how you build that sculpture, right? Especially if you're not making like this is the beginning, this is the middle,
Yeah.
this is the end. Like, what are the building blocks of film? And like, it's like, and it's very musical.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that's just
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
like
yeah.
a high comment type shit, but like,
Yeah.
it's very like that. So, and sculpture sort of makes you think that way about things. You gotta like build something with metal, or you gotta do something I don't know, it can't fall down. You just gotta like see how to connect those things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
what's up.
It's
That's what's
cool.
good, man. That's awesome, bro. So you guys met in school, and you guys both decided to come down to Miami to do the Borscht thing together, or?
I was doing I did the fellowship, and then I got a grant.
Okay.
Because they do their commissions every 2 years.
All right.
So I applied for the grant, and I got it. And I was just like, damn, this is so cool. To make a Power Ranger film. So I grabbed that money, and I started doing it in school.
While you were still at RISD?
While I was still at RISD, yeah.
Okay.
We started building, because it was a Power Ranger movie, we started building the helmets. So we
Okay.
were making these foam sculptures with like resin. And then we called our friend Brian Oakes.
Yeah.
who does-
Shout out to Brian
Shout out
Oakes.
to Brian Oakes. He works for this guy called Tom Sachs.
Okay.
It's a cool sculpture, but like he put little lights on the helmet. I was just doing all of this stuff with like telling people like, yo, help me do this, help me
Yeah.
do that. To make
lot
these
of help,
helmets.
yeah.
Yeah. And then I came down and I made the film. And I'm still working on it.
All right. And how'd you decide to come down from RISD?
So, last summer I was here for a little bit because my grandparents live here.
Okay. So you have
And-
some roots here.
Yes, I have some roots here, and we were visiting them, and then Pedro was like, "Hey, you should come and just stay with him and his friend JP, my friend too. Shout out to JP. I'm gonna keep saying shout out, but
It's all good.
yeah,
Shout out.
just shout out. We So I visited, and then I saw Borscht, and I really loved it, and then damn, yeah, I don't know, and then I applied for the fellowship this summer, and I was here. But before that, Dylan so kindly sort of like through Pedro and through sort of like my relationship, Dylan sort of like helped produce this movie that I sort of made and am
What was the
making
name of
now.
that movie?
It's called The Big Parade.
Oh, okay. The one that you were talking about
exactly. And it's a horror movie.
earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're currently working on it, or you
Yeah.
finished it?
Currently working on it.
Okay.
And it's sort of like a late Borscht commission that was like slipped in at the end. So because of that, and because like, I don't know, I really love Borscht from the outside and seeing what Pedro was doing there and seeing their past work. And honestly, in the end, like just literally like the actual environment that Borscht sort of like cultivates is like it's very exciting.
So you saw Borscht and you were just like drawn to it. So you said, that's where I gotta go and like pursue this.
Yeah, and like I didn't really have, I wasn't thinking about anything else sort of after I graduated. Literally like a couple months ago, I was just like,
that's what I was thinking. Like, you guys were studying sculpture. How did you get guys then just transitioning into video? Did you like, what the fuck was that like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I honestly don't know, yo. I feel like you're studying art in one of these art schools, which is cool, and then like you see a bunch of I saw a bunch of art that I hadn't seen, and then like you like films, but then you try to draw like people are trying to make you draw, and like at some point like you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make a little movie.
So that's how you transitioned into film.
Yeah, we started making movies together, and then
the way
like,
that film actually you could communicate through it. That's what drew you to it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, because like, damn, we made a lot of sculptures.
It was hard for me to make like a sculpture, and then to see people like talk about it in like, oh, this material means this and these materials mean that, and then you sort of me being like, oh, damn.
That's not really what it means.
Yeah, like that's. So like, oh fuck, and then like with movies, like people laugh or it. I just feel I can communicate energies better or something. I just feel more comfortable in that medium.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
that's good. So you have a footing here. Are you originally from here?
I am from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Then like I lived in Mexico.
And then when
I was in Miami for a while, but then I had to leave, and then I came back to Miami in high school.
Okay. So and more or less from high school on.
Yeah, but I'm a Weston kid.
Okay, Weston.
Yeah, that's where my mom lives now, and I'm like stay with her.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
So you have some roots here in the community in South Florida también.
Yeah.
That's good, bro. So when you guys are here and you guys are working on your movies, how does that medium then transfer into like animation? Because I know you guys just recently finished doing the Fat Nick video, but it was like highly animated.
Yeah.
Okay,
so like now that you're telling me you study sculpture,
let's throw another one in there.
Layer.
Another layer in this mug. You just like, okay, sculpture, video, now animation.
Well, we wanted to put effects in our movies.
Okay.
Because we were just like, okay, fuck it. Like, we want shit to explode and like...
Yeah.
Well, we didn't want shit to explode.
Yeah.
The first film we made was like a weird noir film, and there was like a lot of...
no art, you said?
Like noir, like
mystery
noir,
Yeah.
film. And there was ghosts, and we were just like, we need to like make the ghosts like sort of be around.
Okay.
And then we like to draw, so you learn After Effects, and then you're like, oh, like we can put a drawing here, and then like there's a person, and then you like do the next tutorial, and it's like, oh, you can put a person and like two people, and then like all of a sudden it's like 2 years in, and you're just sort of like, it gets to a point where you're making animation, because you're using keyframes, you're doing animation techniques, and then you go to one of these schools and you have animator friends and you start talking to them and like,
and they're like, hey, this is
you're like, oh, this is a cool animation, and then you're like, damn, like like that was pretty cool what I did there, and then we got really into it.
Okay.
I don't know. Like when you hear the word animation, or like when people talk about animation, you just sort of think about hand drawn animation and stuff. But it's just such a flexible medium, I feel like.
Bro, I agree with you 100%. I feel animation is the visual language of the future, like the combination of both regular film and animation, that's where it's at. Regular film, I don't think is enticing enough for young kids to just watch just by itself. Like, it has to be a really good story for them to be engaged and be all up in it. But if you throw some animation in there somewhere, it's just all of a sudden it's like, what? You're taking it to the next level. And a lot of the ways that people interact now is through animations, like emojis and things like that. All those are animations.
And GIFs.
Yeah, like GIFs and all of that. Like when people, they don't want to even type out how they feel. They just want to send a GIF or a meme of how they feel.
It's so real.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how I feel like animation is the next level. So you guys, how did the whole Fat Nick animation thing come about?
Oh, wow. So...
What did you pitch to Fat Nick?
What did I pitch to Fat Nick? So Fat Nick and I talked, and
Shout out Fat Nick.
Fat Nick and I talked, and he really wanted to make a crack music video.
Okay.
And I really didn't want it to make a crack music video.
Okay.
So the point that we met in the middle was an underwater trap house where there's crack purchasing
Okay.
and selling music video.
Okay.
That was like where Fat Nick and I met creatively.
Yeah.
And my idea was that there's this episode of Juana Liguana.
Juana what?
Juana Liguana.
Juana La Iguana. Where's that from?
Juana Liguana is a Venezuelan show
Okay.
that I
Juana
watched
La
growing
Iguana.
up.
Okay.
Watch maybe? I don't know. It's bootleg Barney.
Okay.
And Juana Liguana is a wonderful sort of motherly figure that takes care of these children.
Yeah.
And there's an episode called The History of Pirates
Okay.
that I love. And it has this like effect that's Juana Liguana with children underwater talking to this puppet doll
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
And one of those nights around me doing the Fat Nick music video,
Yeah.
I was doing research to see what I was gonna pitch to him, and I
Yeah.
found that, and I was just like, damn, I would just want Fat Nick on a green screen and Harrison and I animating to that. As long as it's underwater, it will all connect at some point at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sort of like wrote a bunch of list of things that Fat Nick did underwater, and then just directed Fat Nick to do them.
Okay. So this was a major production, right? This is not like iPhone shot or none of that other shit. This was like with the real cinema cameras and all of that.
I think it's sort of half-seas, like, it was very well shot by the cinematographer called Chris Carrera,
Okay.
who is one of those kids who know he's not a kid, he's a man.
He's a man.
He's a man. Like, I shouldn't be calling people kids. Like, This man knows how to use a camera really well.
Okay.
And he had a 4K camera, and that was a big problem in the music video because I had never shot anything else 4K, so I had to render visual effects in 4K.
Yeah. Which
And my
is-
laptop was just like dying.
Yeah.
And I was editing with Giancarlo, and Giancarlo was just like, hey, you're taking a long time. And I'm just like, Joe, my computer's just dying. So that's when Borscht came in and was just like, okay, you can use our computers. And then I was just animating
Yeah.
like crazy. But yeah, do not render visual effects in 4K. It's sort of overkill. You don't need that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Like nobody's really gonna watch anything in 4K anyways.
Yeah. But at the end, we did the
So
the
real.
Fat Nick music video is 4K on YouTube, so watch it 4K.
Yeah, you already put in the work, so you
I
might
put
as
in
well.
the work, so please do that.
All right, so then you guys met in the middle and then you decided to do the animation. So you were directing him on what you were thinking the animation was going to be like, or did you already have the animation? And then like how do you direct somebody on a green screen without knowing like what you're animating unless you already know what it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I think for the Nick music video, I had GIFs and
Okay.
memes and just like small references. And then you as a director just sort of, or like the way that I do it, I guess, is just that I become the performer. So I'm the person of the camera is right next to me, and then I'm just sort of talking to Fat Nick. Swimmy, Fat Nick. Like,
Yeah.
And everyone around me is just looking at me weird, but I'm just sort of like trying,
Explain
to
in your head what's the concept that's going on in your head.
Yeah. So I just like invent little cues, or just like that's the spider sense, like things that you know from other movies.
Okay.
You're just sort of like screaming them and like trying to get reactions from your performer. And this in a very quick thing because it's not like a 10-hour shoot, you know, it's like 2 hours. Nick is a busy guy, and it's just like you have to like be like, Nick, you're swimming. Nick, you're giving money to this person. You're using your phone. Smile. Say no. Just like getting him to do everything.
Okay. Damn, and then you go into the studio and you guys chop it up.
Yeah, and
Then
like
you chop it up, yeah.
damn, yeah. I mean, like Pedro directed and shot, or sort of was on set with Nick and sort of directing. And then when I came to Miami, he was just like, "Hey, you know, would you like to jump on this video?"
Yeah. I said, I need help.
Yeah.
Pedro was just like,
I
"I
have
need
all
help."
this green screen footage of Fat Nick swimming and like because the episode of Finally One it looks really easy.
Yeah.
Well, because
But it's
You
not that
found
easy.
out that it's not easy.
and I think, like, generally speaking, I think to sort of get the effects on that show, it is somewhat easy. Like, that show is sort of low budget, and the effects are not, you know, incredible, but they have like a charm to them, and they're like really amazing. But I jumped on, and we were sort of doing it, and I was like, of course, I'll help, and we'll make this thing sick. And slowly but surely, we just got a little bit too self-indulgent with the type of water that we were doing, and the way that we discovered the 3D camera in After Effects, and we just really just had so much fun for the first little bit, being like, so many possibilities. And then when we sort of both raised that bar visually, we were just, fuck, like now the entire video needs to be sort of this crazy. I don't know.
Harrison and I get competitive too when we're like doing effects. So like it'll be very much like, Harrison,
check this out.
I just figured out this 3D camera, and he's just like, oh, what's it called? 3D camera. And then 3 hours later, I'll just, Pedro, and then I'm just like, oh, so now you know how to move it too, and like, make it look real.
Yeah.
10 hours later, just, oh, look at the fucking thing, and we're just like showing each other shit, and then. Yeah. But also, we made a bunch of movies before, and no one had seen them.
Okay.
And then Fat Nick was just like, okay, like, make me in a fucking underwater thing. And he said yes. And I just called Harrison. And I was just, bro, like, we gotta animate the best that we've ever animated, because
more people
are gonna watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least more than the 20 people that we've shown. You know what I mean? I feel like our work is very much... work from school at the end of it all. Something that I had a hard time in school, or something that frustrated me, is that like, you're so fucking in the bubble. So like, whatever you're doing, I don't know. I was really hungry for like a little moment of being like, look at this, because animation, you work so hard on it. Like,
it takes
you
a
really
long
want
time.
a little clap.
You want a little clap.
And this song is like 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's no way we're gonna make. I don't know. It took a lot longer than we even. It's not even longer. Like, I just think it took more like energy than we like thought, or like more all nighters than we thought we were gonna do. And
that's crazy. In the video, there's this part where he's like in the kitchen, and there's this like rolling camera shot that it goes from the back of the kitchen and it passes by him, and then it goes into the window. There's like sharks in the window. So you guys filmed all of that like on a green screen, or that was like in...
that was in reality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The part that looks real is real.
It was fully 3D rendered.
It's fully 3D. All right.
And like, when I think I started working on it, Pedro had like, there was like the live action stuff, and then there was the green screen stuff. And I don't know, that combination is just, I think, is just forever exciting to me and Pedro both. It's just sort of like combining those things together.
Yeah, there's so many possibilities there.
Yeah. I don't
crazy.
know. That shit excites me. Just those different forms of video.
So Fat Nick, also being from Miami, he's also a creative. How do you feel the art community, the creative community, like shares and interacts with each other here in South Florida? You know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden you're here in a year, you're like, I'm talking to people, I want to make a Fat Nick video. Boom, you get the opportunity to do a Fat Nick video. I say this because I have this feeling that Miami's kind of like there's this thing called 6 degrees of separation. You know how that works? And I feel like Miami's like maybe 1 or 2 degrees of separation.
Yeah, it's so small.
Because it's a small major city, though. It's an international city, but it's small as fuck at the same time. Within the arts community, it's even smaller. Everybody knows everybody, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're working on anything of interest or anything, you're going to come across the same people more or less over and over. So how do you feel? How has that been like a reception to you?
Damn, I think Pedro could speak on that more, because he's been here much longer
Harrison
than I
just
have.
got here.
I just got here.
Yeah.
I'm like a new fucking...
You're a newbie.
I'm a newbie to this city, but I love it. So
I think that I've gone to a couple of events.
Yeah.
And people have been really nice to me, and I've met some really cool people, and I'm very thankful for that. It's been a really nice experience. I've also spent a lot of time on a computer.
Okay.
So like, I feel I haven't, or I am the kind of person that will be a lot like, oh, I'll go to this, I'll go to that, but at the end of it all, I'll just animate a little longer. I feel like that's my personality. But I love I think the Miami art scene is really cool, and I've gotten to meet some amazing people. And cool also to like see these places like Borscht, and I'll just keep saying Borscht, but that's just the place where I spend the most time, and like, more people come by, but that's just a really cool, or even cafeteria is really nice.
Yeah.
Just, I came here to do the grant, and cafeteria came through with the cameras, and they helped me in a shoot without even knowing me, just sort of believing in the idea that like it is worth it to make films here in Miami, and that it's cool to make work in Miami. I feel I've been really lucky to feel that around me.
Yeah, it's a thing that is so small that the actual people who are making movies and stuff like that, they kind of do want to put on for each other, because at the end, you are a representation of South Florida and Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always bitching and complaining like, oh, there's no work here like in LA and New York. But if the little work that there is, you fuck it up, there's going to be even less work. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Damn, yeah.
Damn.
It's like always trying to put on, always trying to make it seem like it's all good. Because it is all good. I mean, we have one of the most beautiful backdrops in the world, you know? Even
It's
if
so
you are a
true.
recluse.
Right.
So you like being more like introvert and chilling on the computer and...
I wonder if it's exactly what I like. I feel like it just happens in waves, you
Yeah.
know. There's moments where I'm also I have now more work that I've had before, and then like I just moved out of college and stuff. Now I'm also like, okay, I gotta get this check, or I gotta finish these videos, or a video becomes less about my creative output and more about making sure that I'm like, somehow profiting from it somehow.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, you know. It's like, or it's something that, or it's not crazy. It is what it is, but it's just more in my mind lately. And it's just making art in the real world is very different to making art in art school. So like,
Yes.
this is the biggest reality of it all.
Yes. That's a huge check. You know what I'm saying? It checks you. When you're out there, when you're in college, there's like a lot of free expression and stuff like that. And then you got to come back and you trying to make art. For other people, you got to go, you know what I'm saying? Like what they're asking for. Like earlier we were talking about how the art scene in South Florida is really driven by the real estate market here. You know, everything is like, it always comes down to real estate being like number one in Miami, you know, real estate and tourism. But yeah, like the real estate market dictates more or less. So like if you have somebody a developer or something like that wants to shoot a video, like you have to more or less bend to his will because he's the one paying the bills, you know? As an artist,
true.
it's kind of a hard thing to like say, no, I want to put a dolphin here when he's like, nah, it's not what it's all about. You know what I'm saying?
The dolphin.
Yeah. We haven't done green screen videos for developers, but if there's any developers trying to have a similar animation to that Fat Nick animation, hit us up.
Yeah, we'll put some damn
Yeah.
dolphins in there.
We'll
for
do
you.
it. Yeah. Just try something new, you know?
So what's the process with you guys' films? Like, where are you guys at right now? You guys are...
Oh, fuck.
That's a great question.
Well, where are you with your film?
So my film is, I have like half a rough cut, but the thing is that I used probably like 5 or 6 different kinds of cameras.
Okay.
There's green screen parts, there's animation in there, and just I've made a lot of videos and films before, obviously, but like I've never made a film with a budget, and and because of, I think, sort of the pressure that I feel like I'm putting on that and on the product, the little things of, like what are my settings in Premiere and all these little things that I never really, I should have cared about, but all those different things like really matter. And so it's taking a lot of time, and I as many videos as I've made, I've never made, I don't know, I've never made, I think, a film like this. And
Do you guys write it out? Do you have a script? Do you go shoot? Like, do you need actors, more or less?
What's the deal with these movies, right?
Yeah, like how do you guys do it? Do you guys write scripts?
Well, we did for these two. Harrison and I were doing a bunch of improvised films, very
Okay.
improvised. I got into Borscht the first time with like these films that we were making that they were just essay films.
What do you mean by what's an essay film?
We had these point and shoots, and we
Okay.
would film each other throwing fireworks, and
Okay.
then we
laying down in
museums, and we would like improvise with friends. We would dress them up and like make like fake movies, and they ended up being like very energetic and fun. So then from that we were making movies sort of based on that one, and just like sort of going with the flow of that.
pretty against writing scripts.
Pretty against writing
It's
scripts.
pretty adamantly being like, we do not. I don't know. That's like a thing that we like to say and do.
Yeah, but then for the grant, I really felt ready to be like, I'm gonna make a movie.
Yeah.
This one I'm gonna mean it. And I got the grant, and then if you want to get a grant, you gotta write a script. So and then Harrison sort of, I feel like through that also competition of maybe like, Harrison, I just got a grant.
Yeah,
literally.
Harrison just like next day just fucking writing a script.
It's
And
true.
then we found a way to fund Harrison's film too.
Yeah, from a lot of different.
From
Avenues.
different wacky ass avenues, but like,
Yeah, Borscht fully funded the Pedro's Power Ranger movie, and
shout out Borscht.
Shout
I
out
owe
to
you money.
Borscht.
I owe Borscht money. So I went over budget, but we'll find that out.
yeah,
We'll figure that out. at the
Figure
end.
that out.
there'll
Yeah.
be a way. With the big parade, just a slew of different ways that sort of we found the money, and then Borscht.
We're doing a lot of favors to a label in Germany.
There's a label in.
We gotta make
in
a lot of
Germany.
videos for a label in Germany.
Yeah, because of them funding the
I
film.
mean, bro, ultimately, you know what? film industry is all about, you know, getting funds, bro.
Yo, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy. That's why you go back to like how in college you could just make films a lo loco, how you felt. But in reality, you need that bread, you need that budget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
You
true.
do and you don't,
Yeah.
but you do.
Yeah, you do and you don't, but you do.
But you do.
You can
yeah.
make a film for no
zero.
money that gets into Sundance.
You
And it's
could.
been done before. And like you can make, but, and I'm not saying that like everybody can do that, but you know, I don't know. I think like depending on your idea and depending on like how you make things, like you don't necessarily always need the best camera, but you need the best sound.
You need
And
the
that
best
costs money. But no, I don't know. But yeah, it's like I think for the things that we were making or these two projects that we were working on, the importance of getting funding were like pretty important.
So for the big parade, how did you come about? Why did you want to do like a scary movie, like a horror movie? Yeah.
So, damn, the big parade started off with me wanting to make a mini series called Five Mayors.
Okay.
Which was about 5 mayors of like a small town in middle America type
Okay.
thing. But then I wrote like many scripts about it, but then I quickly realized that like actually like not quickly realized until sort of the last day is that getting 5 actors to know their lines of all different I wanted them to be kids and of all different ages and age groups, but it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, there was a lot of cast, a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of
Back to
exactly.
money. Yeah,
you gotta
back to
pay
money.
every single person. You gotta make not even like even if people are down to do it for free, you still have to feed them on
Yeah,
set.
still money.
Money.
Yeah.
So then, you know, we changed the script to, make it about one mayor.
It went from 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
2 days
Money.
before the shoot, it went from 5 to 1.
That's what's up.
2 days before.
It was just like Harrison just freaking out because like all of these cracklies, moms and dads were like not answering.
Yeah.
Because at one point, I just wanted so many kids to be adults. Like,
Yeah.
it's just such a wonderful idea. But it just doesn't make any sense for a low-budget movie.
Yeah.
But I love... And so, yeah, it became called The Big Parade and about, like, sort of the horrors of this oncoming big parade that hits this town every year and then preparing for it. But I think the thing that... I love horror, and that's a recent thing. Like I really like when I was younger, I didn't watch that much horror because it really scared me. But it's just such an exciting genre, and I don't even. It's funny because I feel like I don't think in genre that
Yeah.
much. You know what I mean? I'm like I have sort of an idea, it's strange, and I'm like it's not really a genre, but I'm just sort of understanding what it means to make something like a genre film or even talk about it like that. But yeah.
So, and the Power Rangers movie, how'd that come about?
The Power Rangers movie is I always wanted to make a Power Ranger movie because I used to talk to the Power Rangers when
What do
I
you
was
mean?
growing up
Like
on the
as a
TV.
kid?
On the
Oh,
TV,
okay.
yeah. This early
The
mem-
Spanish version of the Power Rangers?
dubbed.
dubbed.
Wherever the dub people are, if they call me one day, I would cry or something. But I just wanted. I don't know. I feel like I guess I like to put a framework. I grab a genre, right? I grab like a little thing, and then I'm just like, these are my emotions of the moment, and I just sort of put myself through the process of trying to find those elements. You know, like the robot fight, the fight, the moment that one of the Power Rangers is a little evil. Like
Yeah.
I feel like all of those moments could really connect. People understand those moments already, so just like putting yourself in it and like being honest through it, it's a thing of the process that really helps me come up with like a story or something.
So these people that you guys are referencing, you're like talking about like Barney earlier and Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Like, who do you guys see as people who have influenced you as filmmakers? You know, besides local people that you've dealt with, like Giancarlo and Julian, etc. Like
And Lucas is a big
Lucas.
inspiration for sure.
You're talking about
Who-
people
yeah.
that like sort of films that have really inspired.
yeah,
us
like
and shit
people
like
that you want to emulate or like films that you want to try to emulate.
Wow.
I think that and this is sort of Borscht too, and I don't watch films that much.
Okay.
I just visual communication just like really interests me. So a show like the Power Rangers that was originally made for very different reasons before art, right? Like it was just the Power Rangers was just sort of produced as a product to sell to kids that like cars were cool and just to send these things. I connected so much with them when I was younger different than maybe like a generation before that grew up with like cinema, right? Like I
Yeah.
went to the movies and I saw this like fucking Godzilla. No, or like, I don't know, like E.T. E.T. was so good. Like I don't connect that much with that. But there's some TV shows, or there's some like weird shit that you see in Telemundo growing up. And like, I think I'm always just interested in use those visual communications that I was like learning through growing up that now really inspired me to communicate in that same language.
I see what you're saying. So
You know
it's
what
not
I
like
mean?
an actual thing, but it's just clips of certain things that.
Yeah. So
left
like doing the
impressions.
music video feels exciting because it was a way of communicating. I'm making a film right now because it makes sense that at some point you write the script and make a film, but I'm just really excited about. I think that video is just so exciting. Like there's a
Yeah.
video on Instagram every day. There's just so many possibilities to communicate in that way before being like, okay, I'm gonna
Film.
like put all of these people on this table and 5 lights and like
Yeah.
this is what you're gonna say. Like
Yeah.
before that,
Yeah.
there's just so much weird shit. That
Yeah. And Miami plays to that because we're full of weird shit. That's why like this guy's Only in Date, the IG.
I love Only in Date.
Shout
man.
out Only in Date.
It's a great
Only in
Instagram.
Date. Everyone should
Yo,
follow.
That
And everyone follows, yo. Even
That-
people from out of Miami.
that Instagram is really like all it captures the true visual essence of South Florida. You know, everybody's just with their phones just pops out and just records all the weird, crazy shit that's popping here all the time. Like I saw a video on Only in Day the other dude, like 2 guys were pulling up to each other on horses and talking to each other like those buggy horses.
Right.
Like out in the Redlands probably. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 wajitos and shit.
And that's cool too that it's so full of participation, right? Everyone, E.T. was, I really hope E.T. is Steven Spielberg, right?
Yeah,
E.T.
Steven-
was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
But this movie called Only in Date is
Yeah.
directed by
Everybody.
the Hades, but directed by everybody. So like, I just feel, just before film, I mean, I can say directors that I like, but
Yeah.
right now in my life, I'm just like, Only in Date is like
Yeah.
where it's at. It's just so exciting.
Yeah. It's cutting edge.
It's
fucking
cutting edge.
raw.
It's cutting edge because people will not go to your movies, but like they'll spend time on Only in Date.
Yes,
Scrolling.
legit. Somebody will not go on your YouTube and watch you, but they'll spend 2 hours or whatever going through like the feed and just grabbing all that shit. That participation is the truth, dog. Because people are looking for the raw, uncut, unfiltered.
Because there's a lot of cut, refined,
Yeah,
and filtered.
there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that.
And the
then-
internet is a crazy untamed
Escape. It's a crazy
place.
escape.
It's the best place. The internet is the best place in the world.
Yeah.
The best
And I want to
place in the
fucking
world.
live there. It's
Oh, damn.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, any new projects on the horizon outside of the movies? Anything outside that you guys are working, cooking up right now?
Yeah, we're doing stuff for Arthur.
Yeah,
Can you
this-
say that? Yeah.
yeah, we can say that. There's we're gonna be making a music video for my friend Khan, who's his solo project is called Arthur.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the next thing. And then we're making our movies and
Wait, but the fellows
Yeah.
are showing in a
Oh,
gallery
true.
these just videos every month. And it's not a thing yet, but I want it to be a thing because
Go
it's
ahead.
really cool. Because there's all of these kids are so young
Yeah.
and they're making just crazy videos. And I feel
we're showing them every month.
they're showing just videos every month.
Where?
In I don't know where.
Damn. It's it's gonna be so every month we're gonna
It
have
changes?
a screening. Well, it's gonna change, but like right now we sort of have this deal with Bonnier Gallery.
Okay. Where's that?
Damn, I don't know. I'm not from
Bonnier,
Miami. I'm
okay.
a bad person.
Bonnier Gallery.
Yeah.
All right.
And
We'll send you some fellows for the podcast. We'll send you like people from that show to like announce the show.
All right.
but yeah, I mean, there's some Instagrams to follow for those is at Bisque Corp.
Yeah.
Discord.
Biscorp is the
Yeah.
little Borscht kids.
Okay.
It's just like they just keep multiplying, which
Yeah.
is cool, like more clicks, like more little clicks of people making film in Miami, which is just, it's cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of that's always been needed and wanted here in South Florida. A lot more of the creative art scene. That's dope. So you guys like making music videos then?
In all honesty, the only music video I've made is this Fat Nick one.
Oh, damn, true.
100%. And I really, really loved it because at the end of the day, more than I think I love making movies is I love making videos.
All right.
I love video. I don't know. Videos are just like really amazing to me, and the duration of them, and I mean, yeah, we were talking about it, but I love that.
Yeah. And you, how many have you worked on already?
And music videos,
Yeah.
I did. Damn, I've done a bunch of music
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah, you
but
worked
probably
on a
like
lot.
7, 6. Yeah. And then more music. At some point, like in high school, I was probably making like little music videos for people, but on YouTube.
And if people want to reach out to you, try to get a music video from you.
Oh damn, yeah. At P Money Official. You know
Okay.
the name?
P at?
So my at is at P Money
Underscore.
official.
Okay, P Money _ official.
Yeah.
And what's yours, Harrison?
Mine is just Harrison Fishman. That's it. At Harrison Fishman.
Okay, at Harrison. I thought you said just Harrison.
Oh, damn.
Now you
Yeah.
can fuck people up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm
Don't go to just Harrison Fishman.
Yeah,
okay?
they're gonna
That
be like,
guy's a
"Oh,
fucking scammer.
Guy's a liar.
It's just
At Harrison Fishman.
yeah, on Instagram. I don't use anything else. Twitter is not. I don't know.
And for you,
Shame on
IG,
that.
right?
I'm an IG boy, yeah. Catch me there. DM me. I'll DM you. I fucking love DMing people and hanging out on Instagram.
All right, that's
The
what's
vibe,
up, bro.
yeah.
It's a good social media app.
You have questions about After Effects. I literally answer all of them. Any
True.
kid, like a bunch of people are always like, how do you do this effect? I'm just like, here's how you do it.
You send them the video and
I
everything.
send them the video and everything. I love, I'm a little tutorial guy. I love to teach people.
Pedro's
and
literally
shit.
a tutorial.
Yeah.
You should do a tutorials on YouTube, man.
I should do tutorials on YouTube, right?
Yeah, man.
That's money. That's the real money. But
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
I will.
That's the real art, I feel like.
That's the real art, teaching art.
Yeah.
Yeah, teaching is hard, bro. Well, until the next time, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for coming on.
Of course.
This was
Talk to
really
us
fun. Yeah.
about your video, about your life, your creative process here in South Florida, bringing forth, the film community in South Florida and like coalescing it into a real powerhouse. It's like slowly but surely it's growing. Believe me, when I was growing up, there was none of this shit, bro. Guarantee you that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So like I tip my hat off to you guys. Thank you for working here and trying to put on for South Florida. Until the next time, you guys like it, share and subscribe. It's your boy D Fig for the Que Vola podcast. You already know what it is. Peace.
Peace, yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all already heard it there first. Thank you so much, Pedro. Thank you so much, Harrison. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming through, sharing your experiences, and just dropping basically gems for anybody who's trying to set out on the same path that you guys are on, something along that lines. Thank you so much to everybody for listening. You guys are the best. If you have any suggestions or any other creatives that you would like for us to bring on to the Que Vola podcast, holla at your boy. You know what it is. WhatsApp, WASSA at freshoreFresh.com. All right. I appreciate y'all. Or just send me a DM at Que Vola podcast. We'll consider whoever it is that you put forth. Remember, they have to be creatives and hustlers or entrepreneurs because that's what we all about. And they have to be local. 305, Dade County, South Florida. I'm down with some Broward people too. Keys, all that. All deep down south. People who are out here grinding in the south. You know what I mean? Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Love you. Peace.